So the first thing I'm obviously going to need is the frontal. It is the star of the show, and this particular one is from a company called Pretty Loxx. So this frontal is Indian Remy, and it's in the texture Body Wave. It also comes with a removable elastic band, which also has a bit of adhesive if you want to secure your frontal down onto your wig or onto your hair. To start off mixing the bleach and developer, I'm going to use 2 packs of Kaleidocolors in the purple packet, 30 volume developer, a brush, and a mixing bowl. So I'm not using any specific measurements here, I'm just basically eyeballing it. You really want to keep the consistency like that of sour cream. So you want it to be thick, you don't want it to be runny or it will run through the lace and onto your hair. So you can definitely add a little bit more bleach powder or add a little bit more volume developer depending on how the consistency is until you get it right. So next I'm carefully brushing the mixture onto the frontal, making sure that it doesn't get on any of the hairs, and I'm going to allow that to sit for about 20 minutes. So after that's processed, I'm going to thoroughly wash this under some cool water to make sure any of the processing stops. And I'm going to apply my Blonde Brilliance, which is a purple shampoo, to remove any kind of brassy tones that may have been left in the frontal. Now I'm going to start with the plucking. Now, based on observation, it seems like this frontal may have been pre-plucked because the hairline doesn't look that crazy. So I'm pretty much just going to do a little bit of work in terms of the plucking. I'm going to start off on the sides in random sections, and I'm just going to pluck and see how it goes. I didn't show this on camera, but I do take the frontal off the mannequin and I just go in the washroom and put it against my hairline and see how I like it. I would suggest doing that because you do want it to fit your hairline and how your hairline is. You want it to blend in seamlessly. So I definitely do that. I take it off, I put it back, and I pluck little areas that I feel need a little bit more tweezing. once I finished with the plucking, I did move on to the baby hairs. Now they're a bit long for my taste, so I use this eyebrow razor and I just gently trim them so they're a bit more realistic. And I also re-wet the hair so that I can see better how it would look. And in the end, I just use my comb and I kind of sweep the baby hairs into the hairline so it has a more realistic appearance, and it will camouflage the lace a bit when I put it on. So how I apply the frontal is that I did bring it a little bit past the dome cap, because that way it lays down better onto the dome cap when you are sewing it. This was a bit of a trial and error. There was a couple times I had to take it off. I sewed it down and then I had to take it off because it wasn't sitting right. So I found that when you bring it a little bit further and you make sure that the back portion of the frontal lays down, it sews on so much better and flatter and neater. Once I've sewn down the frontal, I'm going to proceed with my wefts, and I basically just sew them from each flap of the frontal side to side, ear to ear rather, and I do this in a U shape until I get to the top. And in the back, I actually double up the wefts just to make sure that they're thicker. And then when I get to the top, about halfway through, then I single the wefts and I just make sure that I sew them close enough so there are no gaps. So this is the wig when it's completed. I actually really like it and it came out exactly how I wanted it to. What I really appreciated about this frontal from Pretty Loxx is that I didn't have to do too much tweezing, so it didn't take up so much of my time. The lace was really good to work with. The texture and the quality feels really awesome, and I like the density of it. I didn't have to use so much hair like I would with a closure wig because the frontal does take up a good portion of the dome cap. However, I still have the density and the body that I desire. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave all the links to this frontal in the description box. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and share. I will see you guys in the next video. Happy holidays. Peace and love.